Yo, so what is up everybody on YouTube? We are back today with a brand new video, and you saw the title. It is going to be a Tyler Herro career simulation. We did make one of these about 10 months ago when Herro was just starting to become up and coming in the league, but of course we got to redo it now with all the Heat's success. Luka Doncic ends up getting an MVP here in year one of the sim. RJ Barrett actually getting most improved player of the year as well. We don't have as great of a year as we probably thought coming off that great season where they did make it to the championship. We only get 41 wins, but we do make playoffs, so nonetheless we are still very much in it. Tyler Herro having a pretty good season here, 14.1 points per game. We did have him in that starting two-guard position, so he's starting alongside Dragic, Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, and Bam Adebayo. And in the first round, we have a pretty tough matchup here in the Bucks. In real life, I definitely think that they could take them again. But as we know, the 2K sim absolutely loves Giannis, so it didn't go our way in the first round this year. We came in as the 8th seed. They were the number 1 seed. It is okay, of course. So we're just going to check out this, how our guys kind of performed here, and just fly right into the finals, see how this plays out, and go right into year 2, where hopefully we can go and get ourselves a championship pretty early in the sim. So we got the Bucks, of course, that we were up against, facing Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks here in the finals. Luka versus Giannis, man, that would be an interesting finals to watch. And the Bucks end up taking it 4-1, man. Shows you just how much the sim loves Giannis. Moving us into year 2 of the sim here. Year is now 2021. Of course, it is technically Tyler Herro's 3rd year in the league. Let's keep that in mind. So you can see, to a surprise to many here, we actually got Giannis in free agency. A lot of rumors are, that maybe Embiid or another piece will come down to Miami. But apparently in this, at the very beginning of free agency, Giannis decided to sign with the Heat. So we have Theo Maledon running our 1, Tyler Herro at the 2, Jimmy Butler at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Bam at the 5, man. That makes this team super dangerous here in year 2 of the sim. Already at a 4-star system proficiency. Let's see how it plays out. So in year 2, Luka goes ahead and gets himself an MVP. And let's check out just how we did with the addition of Giannis. And not really where I was expecting us to be. Only 52 wins on the season. 28.6 and 14.2 for Giannis. They're going crazy. Bam doing his thing. Herro getting 14.8 points per game, which is not bad, but I would like to see a little bit more improvement from him going into these playoffs and next season. So first round, we have a matchup up against a tough Atlanta Hawks team here with Trae Young and a pretty solid team around him, but that's really not how I was expecting it to go, man. 2 disappointing playoff series back-to-back years here as we get swept 4-0 by the Atlanta Hawks with Giannis, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Herro. Doesn't make too much sense to me. Finals here, you got the Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum up against Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. Mavericks find themselves up 3-1 and end up taking it in 5 pretty easily. Moving us into year 3. Herro is chilling at an 83 overall at the age of 22. 86 overall Jimmy. And of course, Giannis goes ahead and gets an MVP season here in year 3. Absolutely going crazy for us, helping us get the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Who would have known 56 wins is only going to get you a 3rd seed in the East? Not me. Giannis going crazy. Tyler Herro definitely going a lot better than what he has in the previous years. Increasing that scoring a good deal at 17.4 points per game. Our lineup is starting to look super deadly heading into these playoffs here in year 3. So let's see how it goes. First round matchup up against the Magic team, who end up taking it to 7 with us. But we do edge our way out of it. 37-point performance there from Giannis and a 30 bomb from Bam Adebayo. Moving us into the second round here up against the Hawks. And they swept us last time, but we swept them this time. Giannis dropping 38 points in that dub. Moving us to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Boston Celtics. Always a tough matchup, boys. Let's keep that in mind. And it's going to Game 7 here. And in 7, we end up taking a 32-point performance from Jason Tatum. Absolutely negated by the boys. Luka Doncic in the finals here. Let's see just how it goes. It's back and forth, a 2-2 series here. Of course, we're going to hop into Simcast and see just how this one ends up playing out. We drop a game by 2 points there despite a 41-point fourth quarter, getting down in the series 3-2. We need this game to tie it up and take it to 7, but we end up getting smoked by 20. Luka Doncic goes ahead and gets himself a Finals MVP award. Tyler Herro dropping 22 points there in that L. We tried to get it done, we just could not, but it is what it is. We're moving into year 4, and our guys are only getting better. Tyler Herro at an 88 overall now. Bam, 87. Jimmy getting a little regression now at an 85. And of course, Giannis still chilling at a 98. So let's see just how this year plays out. Luka Doncic gets yet another MVP season. Giannis grabs Defensive Player of the Year and helps lead us to the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference behind only the Boston Celtics. 27.9 points per game and 13.7 rebounds. And Tyler Herro, 24 points per game, coming into that big second scorer position for the squad going forward. You love to see it. First round matchup up against that Magic team that did take us to 7 last year. So let's see just how we can do it this year. They're the 7 seed. We are the 2 seed. Let's see. And we ultimately make light work of them, knocking them out in 6 to a second round matchup up against the Atlanta Hawks. And very back and forth with this team. They swept us, we swept them, and now we lost to them in 5 here in the second round, man. Tragic, tragic scene. Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum up against the Minnesota Timberwolves with Jalen Green, D'Angelo Russell, and Karl Anthony Towns here in the finals. And the Celtics actually go crazy and knock them out in 5, getting Jason Tatum a Finals MVP in year 4, moving us into year 5. The year is now 2024, and let's see what things are looking like. We got a 92 overall Tyler Herro, 83 overall Jimmy Buckets, and a 98 overall Giannis. Let's see how it plays out. Giannis goes ahead and gets another MVP and Defensive Player of the Year combo here in Miami, helping us get the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. 25.7 points per game for him, and right behind him, 22.1 points per game for Tyler Herro at a 92 overall. First round matchup up against our Giannis's former squad, the Bucks, and we make pretty light work of them, beating them in 6 right there. Second round matchup, this is where things are going to get chippy. The team that has given us some work early on in this sim, the Atlanta Hawks, but we do actually defeat them in 6 this time, helping move us to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Knicks out of all teams. Wouldn't really have expected the Knicks to have gotten here, but let's not keep joking because they did get up on us 2-0. But the Knicks are gonna nick. They blow a 2-0 lead, and we come back and make it to the finals up against Zion Williamson and the New Orleans Pelicans. Back and forth series early on. We find ourselves up 1 game, 3-2 here. Of course, we're gonna use Simcast and see just how this one plays out. It's not looking good for us here, and they're going to force a game 7 here. Hop into Simcast, and of course hop into the game. We hop in, Giannis throws up a absolute brick from the line, making it an 11-point game here. 40 seconds left. Of course, pretty much impossible for any comeback, and ultimately it is. We just dribble it out, end up beating the Pelicans here, 123-110, getting Tyler Herro and the Miami Heat their first NBA championship of this sim. I'm assuming Giannis is going to get the MVP of the finals, but we're going to have to check that out. Who knows? Maybe Tyler can even steal it from him. As you see, Tyler actually led the team in scoring in that final game there, dropping a 29 bomb in Game 7, and Giannis ends up securing Finals MVP. Year 6, we just cut out all the extra stuff, went right to the playoffs. We get 46 wins on the season. Not what we wanted, coming in as the 6th seed. But we are a deadly team that could just take off in the playoffs here, putting Tyler Herro having over a 20-point game season yet again here in year 6. First round matchup up against the Magic. And would you look at that, we get swept 4-0 by this Magic team, man. You don't love to see it. So we're going to be watching the finals on the sideline here. Ja Morant and Victor Oladipo teaming up in Memphis up against the Bucks here. And the Bucks get up 2-0, 3-0, and they end up sweeping that team 4-0. Cade Cunningham gets a Finals MVP. Moving us into year 7 of the sim. So in year 7 here, Tyler Herro chilling at a 94 overall at 26 years old. So not bad at all. Still has a couple more years of progression in all honesty before he probably hits that cap. The team's still looking really solid. Ja Morant coming off that loss to the finals there, securing himself an MVP. So showing the world he wants it. He wants to get back to that championship and potentially win. We do have a 48-win season, so not really where we want it to be. Tyler Herro putting up just under 20 points per game at 18.8 points per game. Giannis, the only over 20 point per game scorer we have. A rematch of last year up against the Magic in the first round. And Tyler Herro dropping a 37 bomb to make sure that we don't fall to the same fate. Second round, we take it as well up against the Bucks. Moving us to the Eastern Conference Finals up against the Boston Celtics. Going to Game 7. We're going to hop into Simcast and see just how this one plays out. Back and forth. And ultimately, we squeeze by with 3 points there to go back to the championship. Up against the Memphis Grizzlies that are hungry. They want this. They're coming off a loss and an MVP season for Ja Morant. We find ourselves down 2 games here, hopping into Simcast. And would you look at that? Ja Morant goes sicko mode, getting an MVP of the regular season, taking his team to the championship, and winning a championship here in 6. I can't complain. I like the storyline. So we're moving into year 8 here. You see Tyler Herro chilling at a 94 overall. And we got a perfect 5-star system proficiency working out for grit and grind. Giannis gets another MVP season here with the Heat. Just this dude's been going crazy since he's arrived. Everyone's coming in under 20 points a game right now, which is kind of interesting. 95 overall for Tyler Herro though. Putting up, he's shooting just about 44% from 3 on the season as well. Can't complain with that at all. First round matchup up against the Hawks that give us so much trouble. We make it out of that. Then the Magic that did sweep us that one time. We sweep them. Moving back to the Eastern Conference Finals. This time up against Cade Cunningham and the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's see what we can do here. Pretty tough series, and we end up taking it in 6 with just some big games from some of our role players, in all honesty. Moving back to the finals, a matchup from last year repeating. Heat versus Memphis, and we find ourselves up 3-0 this time, not falling to the same fate we fell to last year. And would you look at that, we get our second championship of the sim. Giannis getting a finals MVP, knocking out Ja Morant, who is coming for vengeance the year before, moving us in to year 9. Tyler Herro back up to over 20 points per game, 95 overall, chilling at 29 years old. Of course, Giannis still doing his thing as well. First round matchup up against the Indiana Pacers, who we end up knocking out in 6. Tyler Herro dropping 29 points to negate that 31-point performance by Doug Baldwin. Second round matchup here up against that Cade Cunningham-led Bucks team. And Tyler Herro dropping 24, but it was not enough because some dude, McDaniels, dropped 41 on our head. You don't love to see it. But in the finals here, you got the OKC Thunder up against the Detroit Pistons. And the Detroit Pistons are coming for blood, ending that series in 5, moving us into year 10. The year is now 2029. And let's check out what our Heat squad is looking like in year 10. We still have Giannis at a 90 overall and Bam at an 87. Unfortunately, Tyler Herro is not getting the recognition he really deserves. No all-star teams, none of that. Jalen Lewis getting an MVP season for the Nets here in year 10. And we end up as the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. And look at that. Tyler Herro being the highest scorer on the team, even above Giannis at this point, dropping 21.5 points per game on the season, as well as being our highest scorer there with 24 in the Game 6 loss to the first round Boston Celtics. Warriors back in the finals. Haven't seen them in the playoffs doing too much in a little bit, up against the Detroit Pistons here. And it's going to 7, and in 7, the Pistons do not let the fairy tale come true and get back-to-back championships instead. Year 11 here, Tyler Herro, 93 overall. And did it translate to anything good? It did not. We only get 29 wins on the season, boys. A really disappointing year in all honesty, and not helping anyone's legacy here. I was hoping we could get Tyler Herro some all-star appearances, some all-NBA teams, maybe even an MVP in this sim, but I don't know. They're just not showing him any love. He should have at least made a few all-star games. He now has Amani Bates as a teammate here, as you can see. It's Tyler Herro, Amani Bates, and Giannis, and the fact that team can't make the playoffs is kind of crazy to me. We got the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, Cade Cunningham squad up against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are still rocking out with Ja Morant at that point guard position. So let's see how this one ends up going, and it's getting closer. And the Bucks just blew a 3-1 lead. Ja Morant has secured himself another Finals MVP, moving us into year 12 of the sim here. And could we secure the playoffs here in year 12? No, we could not with 33 wins, man. The fact that this team can't make playoffs right now is just astounding to me, in all honesty. So we're going to be watching the finals from the sidelines yet again. That Nets team with Jalen Lewis up against the San Antonio Spurs here, who are up 2-0 on them in the series. And it's going to Game 7, and in 7, the Nets end up taking it, moving us into year 13 of the sim. Still not showing any love to Tyler Herro early on, but it is what it is. 32 years old, and this is what the squad around him is looking like. It's nothing too bad, but also nothing too special at this point, because we did have Giannis's contract and Jimmy Butler's contract still on the table as they were getting older and older, so it kind of made it harder for us. But we do not make playoffs, but I guess an increase, 40 and 42. Maybe that's showing an upward trajectory that maybe next year we'll make the playoffs. 14.1 points per game on the season for Tyler Herro. We're going to be watching this finals from the sidelines. Bucks versus the Trailblazers. Bucks, Cade Cunningham, of course, playing that 2-guard now, actually, up against this Trailblazers team who has Zion, and they actually have our former player Bam Adebayo as well at center. So let's see if Bam gets himself a championship here with the Trailblazers, or if the Bucks come out on top and the Trailblazers and Bam do secure a trophy there. Giannis, AD, and Jokic all retiring there, moving us into year 14 of the sim. And hopefully we can make playoffs this year. Let's see what the squad is looking like. So let's see what's going on. Tyler Herro, 33 years old now, 85 overall, not bad. And it's a shame because his career might end without him getting any of those real recognitions besides NBA championships, man, which really sucks. They have him coming off the bench as the sixth man, who knows, it could help out the team. And it looks like it did as we make playoffs here as the 6th seed with 45 wins on the season. Off the bench as the 6th man position, just about 16 points per game for Herro, so really not bad at all. Still getting it done for sure, being an absolute killer scorer for the squad. So let's see how the playoffs here actually end up playing out, with Tyler, of course, at that 6th man position. So round 1 here, we have a matchup up against Jalen Lewis and the Nets, a very tough one in all honesty. And we end up getting bounced in 6. I could have kind of expected that, because that Nets team is really good, and one of those teams that can kind of contend for a championship at any point in this sim. But of course, we're going to have to hop in and just see what happens from the sidelines. Bucks with Cade Cunningham yet again in the finals up against the Memphis Grizzlies, but Ja is no longer their starting point guard. It actually is Caleb Love. So we've seen this matchup a couple times, but with Ja there, and the Grizzlies end up taking it with Caleb Love stepping up big right in Ja Morant's shoes. Moving us into year 15 of the sim. Tyler chilling at 82 overall. Is he still kind of that 6th man position? Let's check that out. 7th man, not bad. Bronny getting an MVP here with the Kings. Great for you, dude. And let's check how the playoffs, how the regular season went with the playoffs. 47 wins on the season, getting the 6th seed, not bad. 11.1 on the season for Tyler Herro, not really great. I mean, at this point in his career, it's pretty good. Let's go with that. Coming off the bench as the 6th man again, so they did promote him back to the 6th man, and we just adjusted minutes to back to the 7th man. Around 28 games, all you need at this time, old man. Philadelphia 76ers are the first round matchup here, and we're taking them to 7, and oof, we get knocked out. Tyler Herro putting up 6 shots in the entire game, shooting 4 for 6 for 12 points. So definitely did his thing off the bench. Thunder versus the Bucks here. Cade Cunningham seems to have choked a lot of these finals. So let's see if the Bucks can actually get one. And it's not happening this time. OKC getting it in 5 over them. Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, and Devin Booker all being added to the Hall of Fame right here. And I'm assuming this is probably our last season, in all honesty. Year 16 here. We got a 78 overall Tyler Herro, 35 years old, will be turning 36 on the season, of course. Bronny here getting back-to-back MVP seasons towards the end, heating up as we're leaving the league, man. We come in as the 8th seed. Ooh, okay. Can we get a little playoff run for the end of our career here? 9.1 points per game on the season for Tyler off the bench as that 7th man. Not bad. First round matchup, tough, of course, up against this Nets team. That is really good in all honesty. So we're going to see what happens. We find ourselves down 3-1. We get a game. Can we bring it to 7? And we get bounced in 6 here. Despite a great game from Amani Bates dropping 31, we just could not get it done. Finals here. Bronny and the Kings up against the Bucks and Cade Cunningham. And look at that. The Bucks do not choke for once. 4-0 sweep over Bronny and the Kings. So it's looking like our guy's going to retire this year. Tyler Herro had a pretty good career. Not really what we wanted as far as accolades. They didn't show love in the all NBA teams or all-star appearances. He definitely should have been a multi-time all-star with those numbers he is putting up at points in his career, man. Putting up 24, 23, 25 points per game. Not making an all-star game was tragic. He does not make the Hall of Fame either. It's only Zion and Trey in that class. Not even Bam makes it, which is tragic, but it is what it is, boys. I hope you enjoyed this sim. At least we had a pretty good career out of him. He did team up with Giannis and get himself 2 rings. And at the end of the day, rings are probably the most important thing, right? So we're going to just kind of breeze through this. If you made it this far throughout the video, as always, comment GOAT, G-O-A-T, in all capitals so I know you are a true Bean Squad supporter. I appreciate you all. Bean out.